My name is Bettis. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I discovered the Brain Life Center while driving in my car listening to, I think it was the Bob Duco show on 103.5. I had done a show because I play music, so I did a show at the Music Hall Jazz Cafe, and I had a panic attack on stage while performing. So it was at that moment that I knew that I needed to seek help because I wanted to do this thing that I felt called to do, which is music, but I was having a hard time accomplishing it. So yeah, I wanted some help with my nerves and anxiety when I was on stage. I always knew that I was having an issue with sleep. I would have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep. When I fell asleep, I didn't feel like I was getting restful sleep. There was definitely issues with depression. Although depression and sleep didn't drive me into Brain Life Center, it was the anxiety that did it. The first day in the chair, I was anxious because I wanted to know if this was really going to work. By the second day, that anxiety had kind of melted away. I was really comfortable in the chair, really relaxed. By the third day, I fell asleep on my own without any help from Benadryl or sleep aids or anything like that. And it just kept getting better. Fourth day, fifth day, all that rest of the time that I had with the sessions, I just got more and more relaxed. I started to feel a little normal. I wasn't redlining all the time. And my anxiety was definitely down. And then as a result, after the sessions, I noticed that my creativity with songwriting seemed to boost, and that was a good thing for me. My anxiety was down when I did shows, so I was able to play music without losing the use of my motor skills. And I was able, my depression, my interaction with my family, people at work, friends, was drastically better because I felt better. So that's one of the major things that the sessions did for me. And then, yeah, I was able to start playing music on stage without totally freaking out, without going into a panic attack. I was able to use as a musician, when you're anxious or scared or nervous, your motor skills are the first thing to go, your fine motor skills. So having to use your fingers was kind of out of the question. But after going through the sessions, I was able to I still felt some of those things, but I was able to breathe through them, work through them, and put on a good show where most people didn't even know I was, maybe a little nervous. And I've never experienced that since the session. I've never had a crippling moment where I couldn't perform since. When I wrote It Is Beautiful, the producers that I was working with in Nashville just took one listen to that song and said, this is the song. This is the song that we need to record first. And that song, it was birthed out of my Brain Life sessions. Before Brain Life Center, every single situation felt like the end of the world. It drove me to the height of anxiety. My nerves were constantly feeling like I was stressed. After Brain Life Center, the same situations come up, and I just deal with them differently. I know it's not the end of the world. It's almost like my mind processes it differently. My doubts revolved around the fact that this wasn't a doctor, this wasn't a hospital, this wasn't something that prescribed medicine and prescriptions and things like that. And so my doubt revolved around the fact that this was alternative. But the human body is amazing, and there are so many different ways to approach our issues. And so the best thing I think you can do is to push the doubt aside and just give it a try. You have everything to gain if it works. My whole life changed.
Yeah. It was all so simple then, flying kites against the wind, penny candy and you. The me tighter than I'd ever felt before. The streets seemed wider, the trees grew higher than I'd ever seen before. And it was beautiful. You were beautiful. It was beautiful.